This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
When the hot water needs to be hot, when the drain needs to drain, when the toilet needs to flush, you need to do two things. Stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. On call and there when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your driver's license is important so you can get back and forth to work, get your kids to school, and back and forth to daycare. If your license has been suspended because you can't pay your tickets, you can't do any of those things. Let's talk about Chapter 13 bankruptcy. You may have heard the tickets cannot be discharged, but they can be dealt with in a Chapter 13 case. Why not come in for a free consultation? The chapter you choose will make all the difference to your getting back legally on the road. Let's design a plan to pay off your tickets and restore your license immediately. I'm attorney Travis Gagne. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle.
KISW presents the KISW Financial Advisor. Here to talk money, please welcome Todd. I invented numbers, so I know how this stuff works. Peach.
There he is, the king, the czar, and also the servant of BECU, because all of us members, we kind of wear all the hats, don't we, Todd?
That's it, BJ. You got it.
And if you live or work or attend school in Washington State, you can be a BECU member. It is a great place to do your banking, like a lot of credit unions. So they really, really are. You want all the info, go to becu.org. Todd, good having you on the show as we're entering that season that, nobody really likes. You got to get your taxes together.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm excited. I love doing taxes.
Do you really?
Well, I love getting the tax return.
That's yeah. You're absolutely right. If you're one of the fortunate ones that's how you do it, or if you somehow don't pay attention and realize, some things changed and I didn't know, now I got to pay. What the French fries? Oh man. And Todd, any advice at all for anybody as we go into this? Because do you know if we're getting any kind of delay, or is still April 15th-ish? Any clue about that?
Well, it's actually April 18th.
April
this
what?
Year
18th.
Yeah. But I have not heard of, and I do not anticipate any extensions like we've had the last couple of years. So plan on having everything ready by April 18th. Now's a good time. Even if you owe money, it's okay to file your taxes. You can pay just so long as you pay by the 18th. You will not incur any penalties. So even if you owe money, if you think you're going to owe money, go ahead and get started so you're not crunched at the last minute to try to get everything done.
And that, of course, is Todd Peach from BECU. If you got a question, 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
As a text, it comes up in different variations, but I feel like this is like the most popular type of text. So this person says, I recently paid off all of my credit card debt, and my credit score is still in the mid 600s. I own all my vehicles outright. I have less than $1,000 in student loans, and I've been a homeowner for the last 3 years, and I've never missed a mortgage payment. My wife even made me an authorized user on her credit card so that I could assume her credit history, which is perfect. What are some tips to raise my credit score into the 700s?
It's a great question. It seems very unfair. Now, we don't know the whole story, Todd, but you would think everything that he just said would make him like a great credit guy.
Yeah, it all sounds great to me. We have, zero credit card debt. We have a mortgage that's getting reported paid as is. We have open credit, even though it doesn't have a balance. I think your problem is just time. Just because it took a long time to get down to that 600, and it's going to take a little bit of time for it to climb back up. Just because your credit history is based upon your past behavior. Your past behavior is not the last 30 days. So give it a little bit of time. Keep doing what you're doing. It sounds like you're doing a great job. So congratulations on that. Just give it a little bit of time, and it should climb right back up. And 6 months it might take a year or so.
Oh, really? Okay, that's not horrible. I was expecting it to be longer because, like you said, who knows how long? Well, what happened and how it was that he got to the 600s?
Yeah,
Okay.
and exactly. So, and it might be a year, it might be a little bit more, BJ. It's really hard to say, but just keep doing what you're doing and give it some time, and it will climb back into the 700s.
So and that's about it, because he's got the house loan, which usually is a pretty good indicator, right? As far as like, if you're making your mortgage payments on time and you got the loan in the first place, is there anything else that he could do to sort of like start building up good credit, or is he really in good shape?
Well, just keep those credit cards open, and just maybe make a small payment or a small. Use them like very sparingly, and just pay it off every month, just so the credit card companies don't close them on you. But between the house and the credit card, and then paying off that student loan, that's all you need. You don't need anything else. So you don't need an auto loan or anything else. So. No, you should be. To me, you sound like you're golden. So just continue what you're doing, and again, give it a little bit of time, and it will creep back up.
We're talking to Todd Peach from BECU.org. If you got any financial questions, 206-421-ROCK. You can text us at 77999. Don in Edmonds, you are on the Rock.
Hey, Todd. Hey, I'm going through a divorce with the wife. We own the house completely paid off.
Mm-hmm.
We're looking at what's the easiest way to cash the other person out? What kind of loan?
Well, you're going to have to, you're probably going to have to refinance, Don, and then do a quick claim deed, have her do a quick claim deed to give her a portion of the house to you. Are you prepared to take on the payments all by yourself? Or
I think he said it's paid off.
I'm not sure. I guess you didn't say who's going to take over the house, you or her. But whoever it is probably going to have to refi or have the cash available to buy that person out, and then have a quick claim deed signed, so it's in 100% of that person's ownership.
Yeah, so I guess that's the question, Don, is like, can you afford to start paying house payments on half the value of your home, or do you already have the cash that you could pay her off? Which is a beating. No. You pay off your house, and next thing you know, you're like, this is where I am. Oh, man. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bro. I'm not, the marriage is one thing, but really the finances is what gets me, is like, oh, I'm sorry. You as a dude,
heartbreak, smart break. Let's talk about your wallet.
I know, you build up your, like, it's an accomplishment, at least in my brain, to go, I paid off my house. Like, that's the holy grail for a person. Yeah. Is you pay off your house. Like, you really do own it. And we all call ourselves homeowners, but until you really pay the thing off, we're not a homeowner. We're a home, like, lender or whatever.
Well, in Texas says it's cheaper just to keep her, Don. I mean, right?
Well,
that's the advice Todd would give. But
a lot of people stay in marriages for that reason.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, but I would look into refinancing, Don, because then it's going to be, it's going to be under, if it sounds like you're going to take over the house, and if that's the case, I would look at refinancing, and then through that process, we'll get a quick claim deed, and it'll be 100% of your name, and then the financial institution will rely on your credit for the payments 100%. So then she would, it sounds like, again, her, but then she would be free and clear of the home, and you would own the home yourself.
And I don't know, it's interesting, Don. I'll just throw this out there. You guys lived in that house together. Think about the fact that, you're going to be in that house by yourself, but it was the two of yours house. I don't know if a start over thing is the best thing to do, but I mean, you never consider like what it's like to sort of be in that place, look at those walls, and you're also making payments. And you realize this was, it's not your space. It was the space you both shared. And sometimes a fresh start's a good thing. Maybe just like
maybe a fresh coat of paint might be a little bit cheaper than that, BJ.
Well, you sell the house, and then he just gets that lump sum of the house money, and then he goes and does whatever he wants to do with it. Because right now is a good time to sell, Todd. Wouldn't you say? I mean, it's a really good time to sell a house.
It's golden time to sell. It's just not a good time to buy. So
yeah,
and it's a good time to refinance as well. We've creeped up a little bit, but interest rates are still really, really favorable. So so
refi sometimes is the better thing to do in this situation.
I mean, like you said, BJ, it depends what Don wants to do. Is if he's attached to that house and doesn't have any problem staying there and wants to stay there, then I would consider a refi. And if he's tired of those four walls, like you said, then I think your advice of a fresh restart is a great idea. So, so there's a couple options. There's a few options here.
Yeah.
Speaking of houses, someone said my wife and I just bought our first house recently and made our first mortgage payment. Woo! Is it worth it to pay more on principal, say like $50 to $100 a month, or what do you think is the recommended amount to pay over on principal?
Well, I mean, until we've had our emergency fund taken care of, until we have our retirement savings on track, I wouldn't pay anything more. Your home is probably the last debt I would be paying off, and that would be after emergency fund, after all my credit cards bills are paid in full, and after I'm on track for my retirement, then we can think about paying more on the mortgage. But I wouldn't do anything until we have those in place.
And what do you put on that? I mean, I know a lot of people should get a financial advisor, really, if they don't know about their retirement account. Are you saying, let's just say you got a 401k and you're paying as much as you can to that, or is it even beyond that for you in your mind, Todd?
In my mind, it's maxing it out, BJ. So it's taking, I think it's if you're under 50, I want to say it's 20,000, 20,000,
19, 20, something. You're in the ballpark, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's give or take. It goes up about $500 a year. I want to say it's 20,500 if you're under 50, and then the $6,500 catch up if you're over 65, or over 50. So I would consider, maxing that out. And once you get to that point, okay, then we can talk about paying down the mortgage debt. But that would be the last thing that I would consider.
If you could put $20,000 away, to the 401k, which I would imagine, I don't know how many % of people can actually do that every year, whatever, because that's everybody. It doesn't matter if $10,000 a year or $1 million a year, you can only put whatever you said, 20 or 25 in there, 20,500 in there. So if you can do that though, you're in good shape if you can max out your 401k every year.
You are a multimillionaire depending on your age, BJ. If you did this in your 20s or even 30s, you're going to be worth millions. And when you get in your 60s, when you're ready to retire. So
I didn't do it. By the way, I didn't do that. Just so you know.
Okay.
I'm the catch-up guy. Remember I said if you're over 50, you got to play catch-up.
You're the 50 and older catch-up.
You told me you were the mustard guy. What's going on? What the heck? Sorry.
I said I was the mustard guy prior to 50, Steve. That's why I don't have any money and I got to play catch-up. You're absolutely right.
The earlier the better, BJ, as you know, and I know, we know this, and put the time value of money and the compounding on your side. And you will be amazed how it grows over time. So that, even if you only can do 1,000 or 2,000, just do something and do whatever you can and rein in your spending so you can do more.
And that's what you're saying, Todd, is that the compound interest that you'd make on your retirement is so much better than paying off the principal of your home. Like, that's why you want to hit the retirement first, make sure you're doing everything that.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And especially now interest rates are very low. So I'm assuming that that interest rate on that mortgage is probably in the 3% range, give or take.
Yeah, dude, it is insane what people are getting for houses. Somebody posted on Facebook that they were selling their house, and I know where they live, and they live in a nice part of, they live in a nice part of the area, and they got almost $1 million over asking. With people overbidding, which I'm just like, are you kidding me? What? I mean, and again, they had a nice place, but I will say this: they weren't living on Mercer Island, so this was, I was shocked to hear they got $1 million over asking price because it's just that's the kind of place it is right now. So yeah, it's a good time to be selling.
That blows me away. So yeah.
I was like, good for them, but boy, it is not time to buy a house right now, I guess. Oy.
No.
Well, Todd, as usual, man, it's always good talking to you. If you didn't get a chance to get through on the phone lines, Todd is always willing to answer your emails. Just go to KISW.com, scroll down, and you'll see the banner with Todd's smiling face. And don't forget, man, BECU is a great place if you want to do your banking. They offer everything a regular bank can do, except the members are you, and the people running the place are members, so they're all working for each other, and they're not trying to make a profit for themselves because that money goes right back into the credit union, and that's what's so great about a credit union. And all you got to do is live, work, or attend school here in Washington State, and you can be a BECU member. Go to BECU.com, .org, BECU.org. Todd, love you, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Likewise, BJ. Thanks so much.
My pleasure, man. All right, we got another person that just filmed himself quitting over the in-store PA. I love this because we've got the audio. You're going to hear it at 8:19 on The Rock.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
The best defense is a good offense. So before the sewer backs up into your home and wreaks havoc, stop freaking and call Beacon. Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical is there for you when you need them most. 1-800-FREAKIN or beaconplumbing.net.
Take the next step toward the career you want, be it business, cybersecurity, healthcare, or more. UMGC can help you get there. No application fee when you apply by August 31st. Visit umgc.edu. Certified to operate by Chev.
99.9 KISW, the Rock of Seattle. Well, thanks to TikTok, man, we're getting people quitting the job and doing it on video. Gotta love it.
Quit this bitch.
They're doing it live, and we got the latest. This guy on TikTok becoming, the person that we want to enjoy now, filming himself quitting his job over the PA system in his store. Oh, yeah. And this comes from a Walmart in Naperville, Illinois. That's where he works. And here's him saying, I'm out.
Attention, all Walmart shoppers and members of management. It has come to my attention that the managers in the online grocery pickup department don't respect any of their employees, and they rather hide and be on their phones when it gets busy. And they also like making fun of employees with autism, and they're blatantly disrespecting every employee in that back room. So I'm not going to be representing this company. I'm leaving. Have a good day.
Wow.
Damn, that's a lot to say.
Wow. I like his post-game analysis.
Yeah. Wow.
Plus he had like his announcer voice when he did attention Walmart shoppers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I respect his game. You know, having been in that game before, the guy that gets on and makes the announcements, kid did good.
He needs to talk to his writers though. Shorten it up a bit.
Yeah, right. Tighten that up a little bit there.
Also, I'm on edge. I'm on edge though, Danny. I don't know, man. I was there because again, think of the audience. You're attention Walmart thing. Let me tell you about what's really rotten about these people. I'm there. You can go on as long as you want telling me why you hate everybody because that's drama. That's gossip.
Yeah, I feel excited. Like though of all the ones that have quit through the PAs, that might be the least dramatic. Like, you know, I mean, there's some good stuff in there, but like, there's been the ones where it's just like, oh my gosh, like they're really airing out all the dirty laundry, like flirting with employees and things along those lines. This was very like serious.
Yeah, he was very serious and he wasn't disrespectful to them. You know, he just said, you know, they're disrespectful to their employees, citing some examples why, and said, I can't represent this company. I like
that
this
line.
kid.
That was a good line. I can't represent this company anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I have to say that usually people, like you said, Steve, usually people kind of get hypocritical when they're pissed off at a company and then they do exactly some of the kind of things they say their company's done to them. Mm-hmm. But he didn't do that. He was like, you know what? I'm going to be a professional.
I'm going to be a professional and quit through a PA system.
Yeah, sure. That's as professional as you get.
A stretch, but I see what you mean.
And if Danny interviews him for the next job, Danny's just going to be like, just cut it shorter, pal. Okay, that's all I'm asking.
Hey, he's just the one that said it went on too long.
And he was right.
Yeah, he understood.
Yeah, that's great, man. I love that. Oh, do I love that. I was ahead of my time, Steve.
Oh, I know you did it on your PA systems.
Yeah, but I didn't have any TikTok. I would have been the man if there was anything like that back then.
It's not too late. The TikTok exists now. You can go to a random Walmart and quit.
Should I just walk into a department store that I used to work for and just get on there and go, look, I don't work here anymore, but 35 years ago I did, and this is how I would have gone out. Can I just, all right.
Yeah, please do that.
That'd be so funny if someone just decided like they were able to figure out whatever the code is or whatever the button is that you have to hit to get onto one of those PA systems. I'm not sure how all that works, but they walk in and just quit, even though they don't work there.
Oh man, that would be.
And that's
awesome.
just like I would be. If someone quit at a Walmart while I was there, I'd be so pumped. That would make my day. Like, dude, you won't believe it, babe. Somebody quit over the Walmart PA system while I was there. It was the best shopping experience ever.
I'm glad you said that, Steve, because I never really got anybody to give me any feedback when I accused the general manager of maybe, being a little romantic with the person who had the key to the men's, fitting room. But that's kind of what I alleged when, the person that had the key to the men's fitting room wouldn't go over there and unlock the fitting room door because we kept asking, and the mother kept coming back with a little boy going, where the heck is? I want to try these jeans on for my kid. And then finally I said, you know what? We tried twice. Here's the third time I think that'll get her done.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe if you stop flirting with the general manager and get over there and do your job, that would be really nice for the customers that actually want to buy things here. And, that was, oh, man. Why couldn't I have that recorded? Because I would still play that for people. I'd be so happy with myself.
The technology wasn't there back when you were that young, BJ.
Too ahead of your time.
Yeah.
I'm way ahead of my time. I know. I would have been a TikTok star. How about this, man? I think finally now, Steve, I got a price for you to go to space. I know you were really wondering if the prices would ever come down. Finally, we have a reasonable price. Virgin Galactic says, Steve, all you got to do is pay $450,000 and you're going to space. Steve, finally, you know what? I think that you really took a stand and said, you know what? I'm not going to pay seven figures for this.
Screw buying a house.
Yeah.
I'm just going to pay for what? A trip to space that's what, like just minutes?
It's 7.
It might, really. And but the down payment's even better, only $150,000, so you don't even have to pay it all up front.
Okay, I mean, what's the Venmo? I'll send it out there right now.
Yeah, and if the flight does last for 90 minutes, Steve, so you get a good hour and a half up there.
You have to be so rich to justify dropping $500,000 for 90 minutes of something.
Or you hate your family, and that's your inherit. Like that's all you have to your name.
Like you're 1 foot out the door, and you're like, screw it, I'm dying soon anyway. I don't need all this money.
Yeah, because you figure that you figure that if a person's done okay for themselves with their savings and retirement, they probably got $450,000 in there by the time they hit 60 something. If they've done halfway decent, they should have that. And then you go, oh wait, I just got I found out that I'm not going to live. I got a year or something. I'm taking that 450 piece. Deuces. I'm going to space.
Yeah, I can't even put that into dropping a ridiculous amount of money to go on an amusement park rides. That sometimes seems a little okay, maybe that was a little excessive, but whatever. It was a great experience. My bills are still getting paid. So I'm trying to think of how rich are you that you could be $500,000 is a lot of money, but my bills are still paid. So
it's still
my mortgage is taken care of.
And yet it is an amazing experience that, frankly, I never thought I would get to do in my lifetime. So
I hate to break it to you, you're still not going to be able to do it in your lifetime.
Okay, fine.
I know you make $12 million according to the internet, but
I know you're right. But I mean, if I was a somebody, like if I did, if I actually did have a good amount of money as an entertainer, then I could, then be like, wow, I can go to space. 90 minutes, 2,600 miles per hour. Only 4 passengers, but they say with all the windows, in the Virgin Galactic situation, you really get to see the Earth and do flips and stuff. And I probably would throw up all over the place, but still.
I'd be so pissed if I dropped $500,000 and the guy next to me is puking.
Truth. Yeah.
I'd want my money back.
You actually have to go through training from what I understand. So there's a possibility that they still would go, well, we get you $150,000, but you flunked training. Too bad. Peace.
Yeah, I'd puke on a Ferris wheel. There's no way I'm doing this.
Yeah, you're probably right, Rev. You also get membership to Virgin Galactic's community of future astronauts, Steve. That's what you get for your $450.
Oh.
That's exclusive events, trips, and space readiness activities. So you're part of a club. I mean, you know what? It's
starting to sound a little bit more attractive now.
Yeah. And, it also comes with the opportunity for you to purchase an Astronaut Edition Range Rover from Land Rover and exclusive astronaut wing ceremony. Whee. So this $450, so you're getting a lot more now.
You get access to it.
Yeah, it's just saying, it's like joining the fan club of the crack. It's by joining the fan club, you'll be able to buy tickets.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And special edition merch.
Why do you got to make it all worse? I feel I'm going to be part of a club.
There's got to be more to make it worth my time.
I'm going to get an exclusive astronaut wing ceremony, Steve. Come on. And I get the astronaut edition. I wonder what the astronaut edition Range Rover looks like.
It better look like a spaceship.
I hope so, man. That would be awesome. I would be so proud to drive that Range Rover around. I would man, because I love space. The 6-year-old of me watching Danger Will Robinson back he wants to do this so badly.
BJ, you forgot to tell us about this one thing. I'm reading the story, and it says that you get also fitted for an Under Armour spacesuit.
Oh, see? Look at the Under Armour spacesuit. Now you're in. Who knew you'd be in for the spacesuit? I thought the Range Rover would get you, but the spacesuit got you.
How much do you think they would charge you just to buy the spacesuit? Or do I have to do all this? What is
I feel like you have to kind of do it all, Steve. Yeah.
And what does an Under Armour spacesuit look like?
That is a really good.
Vicky's showing me. It's pretty sick.
Let me see. How about Under Armour's making spacesuits?
Well, what else? I mean, why not, right?
What else
Why
are they
not?
gonna do?
You know, hey.
I mean, I feel like it would be like some other company. I didn't know Under Armour would be like, we're ready to make the spacesuits.
Well, Champion tried to make it, but they weren't
wow.
able to get
It looks cool. I mean, it looks super future. I mean, I want that just because, I'll feel like I said, the little kid in me is loving this.
That would be my lounge around the house outfit, especially in the winter.
I look at that, and that brings me back to my Major Matt Mason days, which you guys don't remember, but it was a doll. It wasn't a doll; it was an action figure that had his own space station and space rockets and stuff. And it was a very unsafe toy because it was a rubber action figure that had a skeleton of metal, like wire. So when it peeled away, you could really poke your eye out. But back then they didn't worry about that stuff. And that's what he looks like. It reminds me of one of the suits that Major Matt Mason would hang out in.
Danny's showing us the Range Rover.
Oh, let's check.
That looks boring.
It looks just like any other Range Rover.
And you have to pay $250,000 on top of the $400,000.
That Range Rover is $250,000.
Yep.
Why?
Wow, that's it probably has a lot of cool stuff in it. I mean, at $250,000, it probably can do everything but take you to the moon, but it can probably tell you how to get there.
That cool stuff in it. John Cena better be sitting shotgun all the time for that kind of money.
Okay, yeah.
I was going to say Alf maybe just to hook you.
It's even better.
Yeah. Alf and John Cena, and now you're saying it's the $250. You'll pay the $250.
Yeah, I'm guaranteed to use the carpool lane forever.
Yeah. And do you get John Cena with his Peacemaker helmet? I mean, is he
I get whatever I want for $250,000.
Okay, well, now hold on. John has got a line. You can't get whatever you want. He's only going to do so much. I mean, after all, come on. Well, there you go. $450,000 and you can go to space. And they have a website. You can actually go to their website and apply.
Don't even bother telling us. None of us are going to go there.
Yeah, that's not going to
You say that now and watch Vicky go, okay, I got something to tell you guys. I made skillions many, many years ago. I'm just one of those people that like to do regular jobs, that to feel like I'm part of it. But I'm really like this closet skillionaire. And then Vicky all of a sudden she's on the flight.
And she gives it away by showing up one day in her Under Armour spacesuit, forgetting that it was.
just watching with that.
That would be such a great flex. Vicky comes in her Under Armour spacesuit and says, hey guys, just got something to tell you.
It was laundry day. I didn't have anything else to wear.
That's all I got. It's just this. And
I wouldn't do that. I get motion sickness, so I just buy the outfit. I don't care how much it costs. I'd buy the outfit and come in anyways.
I bet that website from China has it.
I'm
there you go.
I'm getting a bootleg version of it.
You're never going to go into space, so you don't have to worry about if the threading is off or anything like that.
That's true. Steve is right. There's probably an overseas company, just like all of his jerseys that he gets overseas. He's going to get the Under Armour spacesuit. Actually, Steve, I support this. If you would get that and then you would just that would be your house comfies, I support that 100%. I really do. I think
that's the moment where my wife's like, all the other stuff you've done, thought was weird. This is officially weird, though.
But that's epic.
Lounging around the house in an artificial spacesuit.
Yes, that is epic to me. I mean, really, at that point, it's like, I wouldn't doubt you. I'd be like, wait, did you went up and but yeah, sure did. Space is amazing. I mean, how are they going to say they've never been there, so you can tell them anything you want about the trip? They're not going to know.
And then you could just be like, in space, it adjusts your clothes. So that's why the threads are all off and stuff. But once I got up there, it messed up my whole this is legit,
weightlessness does that to me. Yeah. I mean, see, Danny's, Danny will be your writer. He's got it all set up.
I got it all ready to go.
Got your pitch.
Hey, it's not Under Armour. It's Morona. It's a Target brand.
Oh, wow.
Version.
Morona spacesuit. There you go.
Or was it Massimo?
Massimo.
The other one.
Massimo. I want a Massimo.
That one now? I don't even know if they do that anymore.
I want a Massimo spacesuit. And now I don't even care about the Under. I want the Massimo spacesuit.
Right. You remember the Target brand?
Oh, yeah. Target. I remember? I think if I look at my closet, Steve, I don't have that much to remember. It's right there.
Oh, Goodfellow. That's the new one. That's the one I have those shirts.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet.
It's the new Massimo for Target.
Oh,
so we have the Goodfellow spacesuit.
There you go. That's fantastic. Yesterday, Steve, he did get this one wrong.
What was the name of Mr. Crane's dog on Frasier?
Oh, crap. Wasn't it like Willard or something?
No, Willard, yes, the mouse guy.
Willard.
Yeah.
Frank? No.
Yeah.
Sam?
No.
Oh, man. Eddie was awesome. I miss Eddie. You want a shot at beating Steve? You got it. 206-421-ROCK. We're going to play Pete Miggs at 8:47 on The Rock.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. Here's another question from a listener. How long is a bankruptcy going to affect my credit rating?
Of course, most of the time, by the time we're talking about filing a bankruptcy, the credit has already taken a huge hit. Chapter 7 is going to affect it more negatively than Chapter 13. Chapter 7 stays on your credit report for 10 years from the time you file. It usually takes 7 or 8 years for your credit scores to get back into the normal range in a Chapter 7 case. However, your credit will start to recover even in Chapter 7 after about a year. You'll be able to get credit again right away, usually before your case is even over. Chapter 13 stays on your credit report for 7 years and usually takes about 3.5 years for your credit to get back in the normal range. So Chapter 13 will mean your credit gets better much more rapidly.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.